So welcome everybody to this practice. And today we're going to think about the animal kingdom. A lot of our influences from yoga were drawn from the ancient yogis who kind of looked at nature around them. And I'm just going to begin with a quote: breathe like a tortoise, live like a king. So the ancient yogis noticed that the animals that live the longest were the ones that breathe the longest. So closing your eyes now, just allow your sit bones to settle down onto the earth. Lift the heart, lift the chest, and allow your eyes to softly close. Can you now slow down and really fully deepen the breath? Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose if you can. And maybe there's a little pause to add at the end of the breath and just before the beginning of the breath. So breathing in, we pause. Breathing out, we pause. So the ancient yogis noticed that animals such as tortoises and whales live way longer than birds and rabbits, who breathe very rapidly and shallowly. And in our modern life, when we can slow our breathing down, we bring so many benefits to our health. So consciously now take 3 more rounds of breath, so slowly, channeling your inner tortoise. And you might notice as your breathing slows down that perhaps your thinking is slowing down too. And they're the real benefits from this practice. So let's add movement to our breath now. As we inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. As we exhale, tilt to your left, take the right arm up and over and just slowly circle, just stretching into the shoulders. So if you've had some time on your computers today, this is really important, easing into any tightness there. Let the arm rest over the ear now. Spin your heart up and just reach into your right fingers. Take a deep breath. And now let your left ear hang almost out of alignment and bring the right arm all the way up and over, level with the hip, and reach into your right fingers. Perhaps you can feel tightness in the neck there. Just breathe. And then really slowly lift yourself up. Pause at the top, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, arms sweep over. Exhale, tilt to the right, let the left arm come over. And again, just lazily turning the heart upwards, soft bend in the left elbow, deep, deep breath into the left lung. And relax, just trust that we can really slow down, but everything will still get done. One more deep breath. And now let your right ear hang in a way that is a bit wonky and bring the left arm all the way up and over, reaching into your left fingers. And just focus on the sensation that you're feeling. So we want to drop into our animal brain, the primal brain, not the busy, busy mind. So feeling rather than thinking. Inhale, let's lift up. And let's come straight over onto all fours. And if we really want inspiration in how to move our body, I think one of the best animals to observe is a cat. So breathing in, lift your heart. As you breathe out, come into that angry cat shape as you tuck the chin and round the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the heart. Exhale to round, and then kind of be like a cat now. So you might try padding the fingers all the way close to your knees and then walk them further in front. And then sway the hips to start to move, just like a cat does. They know instinctively what their bodies need. And there's a quote from a really old song: look at the cat and how he relaxes while we race around worrying about taxes. So again, just dropping out of the mind, maybe circling the hips. And we're going to come into a little practice now called animal shape. So we do this 1 breath per move. As you inhale, drop the tummy, lift the heart. As you exhale, press yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees again, lift the heart. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, lift up, the cow pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, knees drop, heart lifts. Exhale, sit back. So breathing like a tortoise as slowly as we can as we move like this. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, the dog. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale to child's pose. And do that one more time, moving with your own rhythm. And then next time you're in downward facing dog, can you stay there? And just notice, are you a poodle or a Rottweiler here? So can you soften the knees, perhaps even do bounces, shake out the head, spread your fingers so wide. And if you need rest, you rest. So really honor your body. Take a full deep breath. Exhale, just sigh the breath out. And then let's come forward to the top of a push-up, a plank pose. And again, let's go back to down dog. So if you're happier with knees bent, do that. Otherwise, inhale forwards. Exhale, we come back. This time, as we come forward into the plank, we drop the knees and lower down onto our tummies. Hands either side. Think of a little kitten now being picked up by the scruff of the neck. So lift the back of the heart and then roll the chin and head up. Exhale, back down, heart and forehead. Inhale, tuck the chin and curling up into these little cobra shapes. And do 2 more of those, just easing into the back. Moving with that slow tortoise breath. And then gently come back to child's pose. Know that you can rest here if you need to, or we come back to downward facing dog. And let's take the toes together now. So press the floor away, lift your sit bones back. As you breathe in, lift that right leg. And just pause here to really fully breathe. Exhale, look forward, take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And you can either drop the left knee or keep it lifted now as you circle and strengthen around the hips. So this is a pose called lizard, another animal. Often it makes us grit our teeth. So notice if you're pulling funny faces. And now let's just turn long ways on the mat. So we parallel the feet. We walk towards the left ankle, bend the left knee slowly. Walk towards the right foot, bend the right knee slowly. Back to the left foot, just easing into the hips. And now as we come forward, we drop that left knee and sweep the arms up towards the sky, reaching up into a low lunge. Deep, deep breath. Exhale, hands come down, downward facing dog. And take a moment to notice any difference between sides. Breathe into the whole body. Like a tortoise, breathing in, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. So you choose knee up or knee down, just moving into the body. So circling the waist, the hips, forward and back. There's no good or bad. We're just listening to that animal brain, that primal instinct of how we want to move. And then let's walk side to side. So this time you might notice, you might come all the way down like I am now, almost sitting on the ground as you sway from side to side. Just tap into that inner wisdom that your body knows what it needs. So sometimes we dictate and tell ourselves what to do, but just trust the animal knowing. Let's drop that right knee down. And as we breathe in, sweep the arms up to the sky. Take a full breath in. Exhale, come down, downward facing dog. And same choices. You might stay here. You might rest in child's pose or come through your vinyasa, coming forward to a plank, lowering to the earth. Lift from the back of the neck, rolling up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And press the floor away with your hands to make your arms so long. Breathe into the whole body. And then lifting up now, at the end of your next exhale, you either walk or hop towards the front of the mat. Breathing in, take a long flat back. Exhale to fold. And with a little bend in the knees, sweep the arms all the way up and over. Exhale, hands to heart. And close your eyes. So what cats do and other animals when they hold tension is they shake it out. So do a little bit of this now. It is actually practice. Shake out your fingertips, maybe shake and bounce a little bit. And this is so good if we've got anything kind of stuck in our body. And after the count of 3, we're going to come into stillness. 1, 2, 3. And just feel the tingles there, the fizziness, the life force. And breathe back into the whole body. Smooth, full breath. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, we come to a fold. Inhale, long back. Step back to downward facing dog. And pause in your downward facing dog. Lift bend the knees to really take your heart towards your thighs. Only straighten the legs if you can keep that length in your back. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot again to the outside of the right hand. So what we're doing now is a bit clunky. Drop your left heel so it's in line with your right heel. Your legs are in warrior two, and now we lift up the left arm. Can we soften the breath? 2 full breaths. Check that the teeth aren't gritting. 1 more breath. Now press into the feet to lift yourself back into reverse warrior. Left hand comes back, right arm rises. Big deep breath into the right waist. 1 more breath. And now let's find length. So straightening that right leg, we're going to lean as far forward as we can with the right hand and take the right hand down towards our ankle as we lift the left arm. And then lean your body back. You might look up to the left thumb. You might stay looking down. 2 full breaths into this pose called triangle. So notice if we've now hardened into our body, can we stay soft? And then breathe your way back up again. Bend the right knee. We're in warrior two. Bring the arms up now for a lunge. 2 arms are lifted. Back heel is nice and bouncy. Take your hands to prayer. And as you inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, turn to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the right. Final time, inhale back to center. Exhale, we turn to the right. And we either stay here or we lean forward with that left elbow. Press left hand into right and rotate. Keep pressing back with that left heel and take 2 very smooth tortoise breaths. Slowly come up. And your option is to stay here and lunge a little deeper, or to play with balance. So as we tip forward, we might lift up the left foot and take it back down again. We might stay fully in full flight. So lifting back, lengthen, and just notice if you're being really mean and critical if you're wobbly, because animals don't criticize themselves, only humans. So 2 more deep breaths. Just enjoying what the body can do. And then very gently drop down, breathing in, arms rise, frame your front foot, and you either stay in dog, you rest in child's pose, or you come through a flow. Breathe your way forward. Lower the body down, inhale to rise, never losing that tortoise-like quality of breath. And pause in downward facing dog. Keep the gaze between the feet and breathe into the whole body. And nice and easeful with the breath. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot outside the left hand. Drop that right heel again. And you might come up onto your left fingertips as you open your right arm. So notice if the breath has now got a little bit unsteady, can you smooth out the breath for 2 full breaths? What do you need to do right now to soften in your body? Slowly lift up. Coming into reverse warrior. Right hand comes back, left arm rises. A little bend in the left elbow. 3 deep breaths into the light left side body. Back to warrior two. Take a moment to land, breath. Right arm sweeps up now as we come into a lunge. Reach tall into the fingers, lift the heart, breathe in. And now take your hands to prayer. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale back to center. Turn to the left, and maybe this is enough for a twist, or maybe the right arm comes across. And we press that right hand into the left as we turn and spin the heart towards the sky. 3 full, deep, slow tortoise breaths. Press down into the feet, lift yourself up. So choosing where you want to be. So bouncing up and down can be really nice here for our hip flexors. Possibly we lift the foot and we land again. Possibly we launch into a full warrior three variation. So kicking back with the heel, finding balance. And we land, we raise the arms up and we take our final vinyasa today. So hands come down, back into dog, maybe you rest, come forward, lower, rise up. And then drop onto your knees as you briefly sit back into child's pose. And years ago, I taught children's yoga, and this pose was called a mouse. So just visualizing this tiny little mouse hibernating. As you come back to really consciously deepening your breath. Just going to make a note of who's here. So noticing the mind will start to go off and do its own thing now. Can you come back? And then very slowly, we're going to come back to all fours. So we're going to come into quite a deep hip opener now. This doesn't always feel great, but it is so good for the body, especially if you do a lot of sitting. So take that right leg behind you and then take the right foot once again to the outside of the right hand. Just move your left hand so it's slightly in front of your left shoulder. So with the right arm now, you're going to breathe in, bring it in front of you and behind. And as the hand comes behind, drop your left hip as much as you can. Inhale, circle back again like a big rainbow, lift your right hip. Exhale, bring the arm behind you. You might need a padding under that left knee. Circle back. Final time, inhale, really drop that left hip. And then circle back. And now as we come forward, we're going to settle into a pose called lizard. So your hands, arms might be straight, or you might bring your forearms down onto a couple of books. You might have a yoga brick, you might use that. If you've got more space around your hips, you might bring your forearms down to the ground. And all we need to check really is the face that we're pulling, because that will tell you if you're in the right place. So notice if you're gritting your teeth, your eyes are starry, can you soften? And you might just want to rock side to side. So quite a strong pose, but a really good one for any achy hips. And stay with that smooth, slow breath. We're here for about another 3 or 4 breaths. And when I started teaching yoga years ago, I used to think people wanted to kill me when they did this pose because they really do bare their teeth at you. So just, again, notice where your face is. And then really slowly, let's press ourselves up. And if you remember what we did a little while ago, we're just going to walk towards the back of the mat, just bend the left knee. Take a big deep breath there. Walk towards the front of the mat. Hold your right foot as you bend the right knee. Take a breath. And then slowly take the hands down. And as you bring the right leg back, you might just want to shake it out again, because that's quite a toughie. So let's go and do all of that for side 2. So the left foot comes forward. So first of all, we do these kind of hip dips. So left arm sweeps in front, circle it back as you drop the right hip. And then breathe in as you lift the left hip, and bring the arm forward. 2 more of those. And hips are where we're said to store a lot of emotion. So it's not uncommon to sometimes feel tearful, but it really is good to let all this stuff out. And as the left arm comes forward, we settle into lizard on this side now. So we kind of wiggle a little bit. We might keep our arms straight. Just go slowly today. We have a super new moon tonight, so it's all about slowing down. We might take the forearms down. We might take them midway. And then just soften as you drop into this shape. And really deepen the breath. Three more breaths. Let each breath be about letting go of something, whether that's a tightness in the muscle or a constant repetitive nattering thought. Slowly come up and let's take that left leg back. Maybe we give it a little shake. And then we're going to come onto our back. So feet are in front of you. The knees are bent, just coming into a couple of back bends, but just a little bit different today. So first of all, take your palms flat, and as you breathe in, lift the hips, lower back, mid back, upper back. Exhale, really unravel the spine. Make sure the whole foot is down. We're not curling up the toes. So you can stay with this lifting and lowering depending on your back. Or this time you stay with the hips lifted and you interlace the palms beneath you. Or, as I am now, you take your hands to the head, either side, and you lift up. So we have this animal body that just knows what it wants to do. See if you can tap into yours. 3 more deep breaths. And then very slowly lower the body down. Just take a moment to land there. Now adding a little bit of imbalance, because this strengthens our hips, the surrounding muscles, and our pelvic floor. So lift up your left leg, flex your left foot and take it just below the right knee, and then lift up into a bridge again. So you will wobble, that's the body working out what to do to strengthen. So breathing in and breathing out. And if your back doesn't like it, of course, then you come back to a more regular bridge. And then very slowly come down. And from here, bring those arms between the gap and just bring that right thigh in. And just slowly rock side to side. So nice little ease out for the hips because we've done so much work there today. And then unravel. So coming back, both feet flat. Breathing in, breathing out. So same options, you might choose to skip it, or this time you lift the right leg up, flex the foot, and just press into the left foot to lift you. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice when the breath isn't like a tortoise, when it becomes shallow and rapid, we've gone into scared rabbit territory. So stay present and drop the hips. Lift the left thigh up, a little rock from side to side. And then link both legs up, both hands up, wrap the fingers around the thumbs and just make little fists as you circle the ankles and the wrists. Again, just letting go of any trapped energy. Bring those knees in towards the chest now. Take your arms overhead if you can and drop the knees to the right. So a little stretch for the shoulders as well as the arms, hips, twist. Looking over the left shoulder now. Take 3 deep breaths into the left side body. And then very slowly come back. And bring the knees over, looking over the right. And one of my teachers says that meditation is like training a puppy. So another animal metaphor. We don't beat the puppy off if it disappears. We just coax it back. So can you do that now every time you catch your mind wandering? And come to center. Take the feet together now. So not quite an animal. We're coming into butterfly. So toes and heels are together. The knees are wide. And then just flutter the groin open. So again, we've done a lot of work here. So we're just easing it out. And there's a quote from Maya Angelou: "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." So trusting our personal transformation, whatever that journey is for us, and just let everything settle. So take 3 deep breaths here now in this pose called butterfly. One hand to heart, one hand to tummy. And perhaps there's a sighing breath out around the jaw. Ending a little bit more gently today, as this is a new moon day, so a day that invites us to just soften. And you might choose to take your relaxation in this shape, but for some that's just too strong for the hips, so perhaps now you'll straighten your legs out. And just choose how you place your hands. So sometimes arms overhead can be really nice. arms resting beside you can be really nice. But if we're feeling agitated, sometimes arms on the tummy, hands on the tummy can be nice. And drop into a natural breath now. So it should naturally have started to slow down. Breathing in through the nose. Tiny pause at the top. Breathe out through the nose. Tiny pause at the bottom. And I'm just going to finish with a poem by Jack Cornfield that I guess sort of sums up why we do yoga, or what we aspire to do if we do yoga. If you can sit quietly after difficult news, if in financial downturns you remain perfectly calm, if you can see your neighbours travel to fantastic places without a twinge of jealousy, if you can happily eat what is ever put on your plate, if you can fall asleep after a day of running around without a drink or a pill, if you can always find contentment just where you are, you are probably a dog. So acknowledging that being human isn't always quite so easy. And just resting in the body as it is, as you breathe into all those spaces, softening the face, softening the waist, softening the hips. Allow the shoulders to drop. And just take a minute or so here now, just breathing like a tortoise into the whole body, the whole body. And start to make your breathing slightly deeper. Noticing everything that anchors you into the present moment. The sounds, the sensations, maybe there's a smell, a feeling of clothes on body. And in a way that serves you best, let your animal brain tell you how it wants to move. Is there a wiggle there, a stretch? The body always knows. And take a long, full, lazy overhead stretch. Spread fingers, spread toes. And bring those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a loving hug. Congratulate yourself for showing up today. And then rock onto the side body. And with big gratitude that you've practiced today with me, take your hands to prayer. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring hands to center. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. I hope I see you again soon.